Caroline from CarolineVencil.com here. Today to answer the question, should I start a course? Let's talk about some things that you might need to know about course creation. First off, before we even get into the video, make sure that you go down to the description below, sign up for some of the freebies. There's amazing resources there that are going to help you with your blogging journey. So let's get started. Should I start a course? I've been wanting to for a while, but it seems super overwhelming. So I should have added this to my stream before I did this. Okay, so let's talk about course creation really quick because I love course creation. I love making courses. I do think that it's valuable and helpful and beneficial to your audience once you know who it is that you're talking to. However, there's a lot that goes into starting a course. The number one thing is, do you want to make courses part of your business income strategy? Do you want that to be like a cornerstone of your business? If so, if you want to do courses and course creation and selling your courses as a way that you want to make money from your business, that means that you would have to be promoting it pretty regularly, updating it, talking about it, constantly ready to sell, maybe making funnels with webinar and having kind of those things so that it can sell evergreen in the background. Are you going to do live launches? All of that stuff. These are things that you should kind of start to have rolling around in your brain when you're starting to create your course and having kind of a plan for it. Do you want to create a course because you want to, or is it because somebody said that this is the quickest way that you can go to make $1 bazillion blogging? So be aware of that going in. Number two thing that you need to know about is, what is your course going to be about? This is where I'm very much on team keep it specific. Think about it like in the concept of I talk about money. So when I talk about money, I can talk about everybody's entire lives because our entire lives revolve around money. I could talk about, your own personal finances, growing a savings account, growing a checking account, merging your money with your partner when you get married, budgeting for children, planning for college, getting out of debt, saving for retirement, investing. Do you see how it can quickly turn into this mega thing if we're not careful? So when I talk about being specific with your courses, I'm talking about very specific. Now, you can kind of back and forth on this one because I do think that there's a time and a place for everything, obviously. But one of the things that I believe firmly is that the more specific that your course could be about, the better. So in that instance, in that example, I don't want to make an entire all-encompassing course about money. I might want to just do one about marriage and finances, or getting out of debt, or investing, or I can't even think. Saving for your kids' college, or learning how to be frugal, or starting a budget. So it would be a much smaller bite instead of like an all-encompassing thing. So it can be big or small. I do kind of, when you're first starting out, don't go overboard when you're talking about courses. A lot of times we kind of dump all of our knowledge into these courses. And if it's overwhelming to us to create this course, just think about how much more overwhelming it will be for somebody else to go through it. So you want it to make sense. So you have to be prepared for kind of having a roadmap for people to take as they get into your course. And you have to answer these questions for yourself. When you're first making your first course, you probably don't want to have a mega course. You want to have it kind of smaller so that you can add to it as you go on and so that you're not overextending yourself from the very beginning. So there's that. Another thing is having videos inside of courses does help, but it's not mandatory. So there are some instances, some niches where it makes a lot more sense to have videos included. And then there's some where it's like, this just isn't necessary. So if I was showing you guys how I schedule my Instagram, for example, that's something that I would want to show you. I could list it out, but for me personally, it's a different thing entirely when you can actually see the process in action. So that's something for you to keep in mind when you're talking about, like, are you going to do video? Are you not? Are you going to add printables and workbooks, or are you not? Is it just going to be all text? All of those things are kind of important to keep in mind. So there's that. Be organized about what it's going to be about and how it will help people. When you are talking about how it's going to change people's lives, this is an important thing because people don't buy a course based off of how many modules are in it. Now, granted, it might help a little bit, but like saying on your sales page, it's got 12 modules and 6 hours of video and 42 pages of printables. That's great, but that's not going to be the reason that people will buy it. They want to know the transformation. They want to know how this course is going to take them from where they are to where they want to be. So you have to have that going in. You have to have that mindset of how is this going to change people's lives? Kind of, again, that roadmap. You know what I mean? To where they are to where they want to be so that you can tell them this is where it's going to take you inside of your sales copy. So it's kind of an involved process to create a course. I love course sales. I think that they're super valuable, especially if you're talking about things that can scale. So when we're talking about things like inside of our businesses that can scale versus like being very, very draining on us individually. If I was doing one-on-one coaching with each one of you guys, instead of doing this video, it would be a lot more expensive for each of you. The knowledge is still there. Everybody gets access to it by being here, by watching this video, by taking, action from it at the end of it. You guys are taking a lot more out of this like a course versus a coaching program. So coaching would be really heavy on you, which is still really helpful. I love coaching. However, you're able to help a lot more people if you do a course versus coaching. You're able to reach a lot more people at a more accessible price point through courses than you can through coaching. So do I think that everybody should have a course? I love courses. I do. But this is just kind of like the things that I wish that people told me before I started my first course. And this is kind of the coolest part is that Podia has a free plan now. Now, there's a bunch of different limitations with that plan, like all things that are free, there's going to be limitations. But if you're trying to kind of figure out if you want to use a certain course platform, Podia has a free plan. Go check it out because honestly, if I could move over to Podia, I would. We're still in the process of trying to figure out if that's possible because it is expensive on other course platforms. And Podia is really awesome. Their customer support is really great. And again, like starting out something for free and not having to worry about crazy fees or really expensive monthly plans, like that's not too bad at all. So yeah, that's my whole spiel about courses. I hope that clears some things up. I know that it's not for everybody, but if you're kind of rolling it around in your head, just take this as kind of like a piece of advice for you to do some kind of internal self-reflection before diving straight in and making like an 85 module course. It doesn't have to be that big at all. All right, guys, I hope that you learned a lot from that video. Remember to leave any questions in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates every single day. And check out the link in the description below. There's a bunch of them in there that are going to help you with your blogging, with your design, with everything. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.